All right. Well, we've got a comment on our last discussion here.
More feedback, eh?
Yeah, more feedback on our Ben Affleck piece.
That really riled people up, that Ben Affleck.
Apparently.
All right.
Well, the person asks, how is that assault, what Ben Affleck did? She looks like she's having the best time of her life on Ben's lap. If that's not consent from a woman, then nothing is. I understand that there are a lot of situations where powerful men assault women, and that's not cool, but Ben is just being a superstar in that clip.
Okay.
Well, I actually agree that
Maybe partially.
Ben doesn't look like he's assaulting her.
Yeah, so I think, so this goes back to our video from last week.
Looks like they're having fun.
A little bit. For those of you who haven't
He
watched
then
it.
goes on to mock people with cerebral palsy.
Yes, but hold on.
He is a total piece of shit.
Let's stay on the assault for 1 second.
All right,
so for people who haven't seen it, go back to our video, Ben Affleck is not my Batman from last week. Look, maybe I misspoke when I said this is a clear case of assault, but it's at least sexual harassment. And so...
No, I think that's the point. I think the point is that he isn't harassing her because she is, also all over him.
But there's a power imbalance. So even if this doesn't constitute assault, it's some form of harassment. He asked her to take her titties out.
Okay, but where do you draw the line here? If there's a power imbalance, then you can never have a relationship.
What?
In these situations.
Why?
Well, how can he ever hit on a woman?
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's an interesting point.
So, this is something that's been bothering me, is that when all these women came out about Weinstein, a lot of them had some very disturbing stories. We talked about them. We talked about the ficus plant.
Yeah.
We talked about other things. And we said, okay, this is clearly, there's a problem here.
Right.
There's, maybe criminal charges will be coming. He'll get his day in court, whatever.
Yes.
But when dozens and dozens of women come forward with these really weird stories that all sound pretty consistent.
Right.
You obviously the balance of...
So you're saying there needs to be a distinction made between the really true serious cases and
some of the things that came forward, and I don't know for sure because we don't have all the details, but like Kate Beckinsale, for example, came out and said, well, when I was 17, he invited me to come into his hotel room for a drink. I was standing in the hallway of the hotel, and I said, no, I have school in the morning, and I have to go.
Fuck.
So she left. So, Weinstein's crazy, he's a bad guy, whatever. But inviting her for a drink, I'm not sure constitutes a crime. Depends on the state, like what the age of consent is, and what the age of,
so you're worried
consuming
that
alcohol and everything else.
You're worried that the actual stories of assault
Well,
and the
that's very
actual
different.
victims are being watered down by these. I don't want to call them, insignificant cases, but they're certainly not sexual assault. They're certainly not rape.
It doesn't sound like it, unless there's more, to it than what she said.
Right, and you think
it's very different from a woman already being in the room with him. And then him throwing himself on top of her, or something like
or
that.
forcing him to massage her, or forcing
inviting
him to
someone inviting someone for a drink,
right?
But then if you're saying, well, the power imbalance. So this is my point: is that if there's such a power imbalance, then
can we just agree that
everything is assault?
Can we just agree that they can both be bad in their own ways? But the more harassment one depends on context, whereas obviously the assault and rape one is bad all the time, no matter what.
Yeah, but Ben Affleck is still a piece of shit.
Right, so even if we don't call what he did in that case assault, the cerebral palsy,
The point is that there's this larger issue with the entertainment industry, the fashion industry, that guy from Amazon that we talked about last time.
So we can conclude on Ben Affleck, he's still not our Batman.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm done with the series anyway. You're not going to top the last 3 movies. The Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, but the Amazon guy that you brought up, we also mentioned him last week. Do you know that now, so for everyone who doesn't know, Rose McGowan has been going on a tirade, and if you go back to our last video, we talked about how she even started attacking Amazon. One of the top executives at Amazon was suspended.
Amazon Studios. Does movies and TV stuff, yeah.
Roy Price was suspended and has now resigned because of sexual harassment allegations. Did you see what those allegations were?
Yeah, like he said to some woman, like, you're going to have a great time with me.
So not just anyone. This was an executive that he took in a limousine with her, propositioned her.
Yeah.
She said, well, I'm actually married to a woman. She was a lesbian.
Yeah.
And he kept repeating, you will love my dick.
Oh, my God.
This isn't even, could you not just hit on her in a more classy way? No, it gets worse, though. So she tells him she's a
Can you not-
lesbian. She has a wife. It
Can you
gets
not be
even worse.
smoother with your sexual harassment?
But I mean, seriously, if you actually want to accomplish your goal of getting a woman in bed, how does your sick mind come up with "you'll love my dick"? Has that ever worked on any woman?
No.
So it gets worse.
Well, maybe.
Maybe, yes, low
I
probability.
mean, who
of
knows?
success.
Maybe it worked for him.
It definitely didn't work in this case.
But in this case, it backfired.
So then later they're at a party, I guess, with other executives. He walks up behind her, and this is the quote. He approached her and loudly said, quote, "anal sex!" Exclamation mark, end quote. This is insane behavior.
This is not normal behavior.
Why do they behave like this?
I think because they're getting away with it. Because they have a lot of money and power, and they're getting away with it.
So do you think...
And of course, in this situation, the power imbalance maybe was not as great because she was also an executive
Right.
with the company.
And he still does it!
Maybe he was getting away with it with other women. Like, who knows? I guess we'll find out more, you know?
So do you think it's only this weird because we're seeing what's happened after decades of
this-
allowing them to go unfettered?
The thing is, what just happened today, there's another director now who's been accused by dozens and dozens of women.
Another one?
Yeah.
Not Weinstein.
I never heard of him.
Who is he?
His name is James Toback.
No, I haven't heard of him
In the
either.
LA Times, but apparently did a movie with Nev Campbell back in 2004. He did.
yeah.
He did the screenplay or whatever for Bugsy with Warren Beatty.
I'm just looking him up now. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done a lot of stuff, late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, so like most people haven't heard of him.
he looks like a fucking homeless man.
He looks like they found a man
Yeah.
on the sidewalk. Like I never heard of him. It looks like they found a man on the street, put him in a suit with a fedora, and then got a bunch of B-list actresses to accuse him of sexual assault in order to take our minds off of the rest of the industry.
Right,
Like,
which is probably doing the same thing.
right.
We're sure this man is a director, though.
Apparently, he's directed a lot of movies. He did a bunch of movies with Robert Downey Jr. So anyway, he would go around to women in New York, especially like younger women, teenagers and stuff, and approach them, tell them, "I'm going to get you a movie part," and then do all kinds of weird shit. And like just reading through the LA Times article,
Yeah, I found one here by the HuffPo. So apparently, yeah, here's one of the instances. This is a bit disturbing. So actress, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Sari Kamen, recounted the harassment she suffered at the hands of Toback. Here's the quote. "With sauce on his face and pieces of pasta dangling from his goatee, Toback told me he needed to masturbate 7 times a day to feel steady in the world." Can I just point out this is wrong on 2 fronts? 1, this is obviously sexual harassment and is disgusting. 2, 7 times a day?
I don't know how you keep that up.
He must be taking a lot
Maybe
of
that's why
Viagra
he's got all the food on his face. Like he's eating a lot to sort of keep his energy.
to keep the
levels,
energy up
yeah.
7 times a day.
'Cause you burn a lot of
1,
calories.
2 times, and I need a nap.
Have you looked at the guy though? I mean, have you looked at the man?
Yeah, this man hasn't.
This story is completely believable based on the picture of him alone.
Alone, I can picture this face with sauce
Yeah.
and pasta dripping
So he
on
goes
it.
through. So the LA Times is like he used to tell these women that he couldn't properly function unless he quote jerked off several times a day. He would then try to dry hump them or masturbate in front of them, ejaculating into his. I'm sorry.
Is he a
Or
dog?
onto their bodies and then walk away. So that would be the meeting. He
Wait,
would be
what
like,
was the
"Come
end
up
of
to
that
read-"
story?
He would jerk off and then walk away.
He would walk away.
Yeah.
As
He
if
would just be
nothing
like,
had
"Okay,
happened.
No, this is like a script reading in his apartment or whatever.
So I made a point in one of our last shows that I honestly, and maybe
I
this
can't
is the
believe
cynic in me, believes
It's
that
just so
most.
weird. I don't understand why they're so weird.
Yeah, why couldn't they be normal sexual?
I just
have
no,
normal sexual urges?
Obviously, nothing is normal, but I mean, you know, they don't just proposition the women.
Yeah,
and it's not even like a foot fetish or something.
No.
It's like I want to dry hump this chair
Like a
while you
fucking
stare at
dog.
me. It's not even like. Did you read the one? This other actress, she's like 18 years
There's
old.
more? Oh, I'm seeing 38 cases
incredible.
have
Okay.
come forward for Toback.
So he'd love nothing more. He said that he'd love nothing more than to masturbate while looking into my eyes, said Louise Post, who met Toback in 1987 while she was attending Barnard College.
What the fuck?
All right, another one.
We can't
Brings
go
her
through all
back.
38
No,
of
no.
these.
So this is the best one. He brings her back to his room, gets on his knees, grabs her legs, and then says, she's an 18-year-old senior in high school,
Jeez.
and he goes, this is after a taping of the Charlie Rose show. Knelt in front of me. Oh no, sorry. Actually, this is a different one. Knelt in front of the actress, and she says, put his hands on her thighs, telling her, if you look into my eyes and pinch my nipples, I'm going to come in my pants right now.
What? So this goes back to your point. It's not just sexually
This man's
predatorial.
insane. He's insane.
They're also weird as shit.
They're fucking crazy.
Why are they this weird?
I think what's happened is it's gone to their heads. I think
The
that they've
power?
I think they've gotten
So
away
this goes back
with
to
so
some-
much shit for so long.
Yeah.
That they can just. I mean, this is the guy who did a movie with Nev Campbell where she's masturbating for 5 minutes at the beginning of the
We're
movie.
gonna need to look that video up.
Yeah. So
But-
this premiered at the Venice Film Festival or whatever.
But
one of these movies.
but this
So
goes
it's-
back to
it's like-
something I said a couple weeks ago, and I think I said it on the show, and I've said it to friends, and they say I'm being too much of a cynic, which is that when you get most men with power and money, they turn into these weird kind of sexual predatorial maniacs.
So you're saying you would be James Toback if you had
No,
money?
not me. I'm just saying this is probably happening with a lot of fucking men with power.
I mean, you'd probably have a nicer car at least.
Why? What's he drive? Oh, but okay.
Well, nothing now.
I just don't get it. I just don't fucking get. Are we honestly believing that this is just one or two isolated cases?
No, of course
This
not.
is something that's going on. It doesn't matter whether it's executives at Amazon. It doesn't matter whether it's people in Hollywood. This has probably been going on for decades, and it's pervasive throughout any industries where there's power.
This is what Jackie Mason said. So Jackie Mason, very old, maybe.
Who is he again? Comedian?
Very old comedian.
Yeah.
Funny guy. But he's probably kind of losing it a little.
What'd
But
he
anyway,
do?
he was talking about Weinstein the other day, and he goes, well, what did Weinstein do different from Bill Clinton?
He
Bill
actually
Clinton's been
tried to
accused-
defend Weinstein?
Well, I don't know if he was defending him, but he's like, look, Clinton has also been accused of raping and sexually
Oh, there's a
harassing
video of this.
like a dozen women at least. Yeah.
Should we take a look?
Did you hear about Harvey Weinstein? It's impossible not to have heard about Harvey Weinstein because he became the most popular man in the world. I don't know if you call it popular, but there's certainly nothing else that anybody else talked about for the last 3 days because nobody even noticed their own families, their own children, their neighborhood, their country. Nobody noticed if there's murder and mayhem and destruction of human life all over the world, in Las Vegas, in Pittsburgh, in Philadelphia, in Argentina. Nobody cares about North Korea, South Korea, Middle Korea, Under Korea. Nobody cares about their own Korea. Nobody cares about nothing or anything. All they know is Harvey Weinstein. And what did he do? Somebody would think that he killed more people in an hour than was ever destroyed in the whole universe. It turned out that he did what Bill Clinton did and made Bill Clinton the most popular man in America. Bill Clinton became a sensation all over the world, and Weinstein is wiped out in 3 days. He can't get a job now even cleaning a toilet. You know why? Because he all he did was imitate Bill Clinton. What did he do? He attacked women. And you know something? It was the most horrible thing in the world, especially to Hillary Clinton. When Bill Clinton attacked women, it was a right-wing conspiracy. When Weinstein attacked women, she was stupefied. For 5 days, they kept asking her about it, and she couldn't even mention it. It was too horrible to even talk about. And then when she finally talked about it, she condemned him as the lowest pig in the world. Did you hear what she said? Here, I'll tell you exactly what she said. She said, I was shocked and appalled by the revelations about Harvey Weinstein. This dark Yenta was shocked and appalled. Shocked and appalled. Harvey Weinstein was a disgusting pig. But if he was a disgusting pig, you know what Bill Clinton was? Bill Clinton was an animal from a jungle.